Hello and welcome. Today's a great show as always. It's going to be eclectic, but it's going to be quick, it's going to be tight. But I am going to talk about my insane schedule, man. This week is going to be crazy. But most of all, we're going to talk about Pig, which is Nicolas Cage's latest film. We're also going to look at his career in the last 10 years, because I want to see how many good movies he's had. But this is the latest one. And to be honest, I would be surprised if there's more than 3 within 10 years. So we're going to test that out, like literally in real time. I do not know this. I'm going to talk about the Enigma of Kaspar Hauser, which is a Werner Herzog film. There's a festival going on in a theater, and people love this film. I'll tell you all about it. Let's just say it might be the worst movie I've ever seen, I've ever covered here, which is crazy. It's like literally the worst one. I'll get into why. And I just come back from this. The Wizard of Oz, big deal. Very few greatest films of all time are like etched into stone. Literally there's like 50, like probably, off the top of your head are the obvious ones. You got Godfather Part 1, Part 2, Shawshank Redemption, which is my obvious favorite. Maybe some like weird ones like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Wizard of Oz, Goodfellas, and then it gets subjective. Then it gets Citizen Kane, Lawrence of Arabia, but then it gets fuzzy. Everybody has their different take, and very few of those I have not seen, but I have not seen them on purpose because I want to see them in theaters. I saw Godfather Part 2 just last year. Fantastic stuff. First one, not that good. But yeah, point is, we need to know if these hold up. It's very important. And I believe I'm like a perfect example of somebody who should rewatch these and tell you guys if they're worth watching now in 2021, like 50 years later. And yeah, we're going to talk about my insane schedule, everything I got to do in the next coming days, which is crazy. You'll be shocked. And finally, the main event is 2 video game trailers. It's very small, but they seem extremely beautiful and animated, just based on these timestamps, I guess. And they play like a 2-second preview, which they just show you the images when you go on the icon itself, like right here. Boom. See, you see like 2 seconds of it. Yeah, those 2 seconds were like, holy crap. So these are our main events. Hopefully one of them deliver. So without further ado, let's go to Nicolas Cage's career before we get into Pig, okay? But Pig, it's a fun one, but I'll show you all about it. So 2010, okay? I wanted to start in 2010 purposefully to show you guys Kick-Ass, because Kick-Ass might be his latest, best. And by the way, I cannot wait to rewatch this film, because I believe it was ahead of its time. It came out when superhero movies were truly becoming the norm. This is before the big Marvel explosion, and it subverts it. It's like Suicide Squad this year, but back then, 10, 12 years ago. So I'd be curious to see if it holds up not only today, but if it's even better today. And Nicolas Cage is a big part of it. He plays the Batman type figure, crazy. Nails this character. Don't worry, I won't go into all the movies like this, but I just wanted to prove that 10 years ago he did do a great film. Sorcerer's Apprentice, he played the master. It was fun, but the movie, by the way, I'll check the once, because it's always fun to see what I scored things. Okay, I scored it a 6. See, so yeah, not a great film, but he plays the old master. It's kind of fun. Man, what's his name? It's not Merlin, but he's the leader of the Walt Disney Universe. Balthazar, it's called here, but that's not his real name. Anyway. Ghost Rider 2 sucked, killed the franchise, everything here. These are small films. Joe. Okay, he plays the father in Croods. Croods 2 is my favorite movie of 2020. Let's not get into it because it is a voice acting job, you know what I mean? He's not really the reason that movie is great. Okay, so everything else is small films because he's known for doing direct-to-DVD films, which is real bad. And unless there's one that pops out, and I might forget a few because, look at these names. Mom and Dad, Inconceivable, Vengeance, A Love Story. To me, all 3 of those are direct-to-DVD trash, but we don't know. Maybe one of these is actually a good film. Okay, Mandy. Mandy is the one I was looking for. Wait, he's in Teen Titans Go? He plays Superman in Teen Titans Go to the movies. That's crazy. And yeah, he did voice Spider-Man Noir and Spider-Man, but again, it's not like he makes the film. Man, I think that's it. See, we're back to the Croods, right? I swear to God, I've looked at every one of these, and none of these I recognize as just a movie that exists. Trust me, I read reviews. I know what comes out, good or bad. You know what I mean? That's my whole life. So anyway, so real quick, this is Five Nights at Freddy's. Apparently, this was one of the good ones, but it's come on now. It's Five Nights at Freddy's, and the best reviews are it's fun to see Nicolas Cage fight animatronics in a horror setting. You know what I mean? So anyway, Joe gave it an 8. So there we go. We have our second great Nicolas Cage role. It's him in the woods, teenager, hard man. And by the way, this has the most in common with pig, not only because it's a 3-letter word, but it's the same type of character. It's like old badass, rugged, barely speaks, and shies away from the madness that makes Nicolas Cage so compelling. Nicolas Cage is nobody's favorite actor, but he's a lot of people's favorite actor to actually watch in a film. I would rather watch 100 Nicolas Cage bad films than one bad Bruce Willis film. Bruce Willis sucks big time, and I will not back down from that. Okay, Doggy Dog's a bad one. Has Willem Dafoe though. Snowden, I did not know he was in Snowden. Have not seen it. So it's kind of crazy that Oliver Stone, he's not one of the main 3 names, so I'm guessing he has a small role. Plus it has to be serious, and it's not like anybody talked about it. Moving on, Mandy, horror movie. Again, because these are so rare, because the good Nicolas Cage movies are so rare, I believe they elevate the scores. They elevate their... because it's nice to see. You know what I mean? If we get 2 every 10 years, being able to point at something and be like, yes, a good one, not a great one, not something actually deserving of being above Nicolas Cage, but just a good Nicolas Cage film gets a lot of leeway. And Mandy's a perfect example because it's a good horror movie. I gave it a 7. But the thing is, it literally overpowers itself with its visuals. Its style is extremely unique. It's a love it or hate it film, but it's very ephemeral, and the plot is like it's crazy. It's like it's too out there. But it is worth a watch to form your own opinion. But I'm just saying, it's not a great one. It's not an undeniable great horror film. The other horror film he did, Carla Out of Space, most people, meh, but some people love it, so he's in here. And that's pretty much it. See, that's what I mean. In 10 years, we got like 2 movies. And then this is the third. The way I said third there cracks me up. So I will show you the trailer for this one because, F it, you know what I mean? And I will do a new source for the first time. Man, that was a spoiler right there. See, that's why I avoid trailers at all costs. Now I know, I know it's just a stupid CG Jaguar roaring. But now I know there's a stupid CG Jaguar roaring in that specific film, and I know what the film is just because of the 1 second I saw right after that. You know what I mean? So that's why spoilers, like, they spoil you moments that would probably surprise you and take your breath away for just a second when you watch the film in real life. Avoiding spoilers is literally the best decision I've made in the last 12 years. Literally. Like, it's number 1. Number 2 is not drinking pop. You know what I mean? Soda pop. Sorry for the pop in the mic, but you get what I'm saying. So I take that very seriously. And meanwhile, I'm showing you the trailer. But, it's just me. It's my personal choice. Plus, if I show you the trailer, it's for 2 obvious reasons. I went through this before. Either I have to sell you hard on it, or it's not that good, so you can skip it. And hence, I can show you the film. People market this as John Wick with a pig and Nicolas Cage. They're wrong. It's a stupid marketing, to be honest, because it sets up expectations that are bad, because it is the same conceit as John Wick. The pig gets kidnapped, and Nicolas Cage is like, where's my pig? He literally says, where's my pig? Like, probably 12 times in the film. It gets grating. It's kind of jokey. Anyway, it has a weird sense of humor. But here's the problem. It's extremely slow. Extremely slow. Of course, I saw this after Space Jam, but I saw it before another movie which I didn't like, so it had a completely fair shake. And, it explores a world that I will not spoil. That's what's cool about it, is if John Wick explores the world of assassins, which it does, and that's why it's so awesome and well-revered and has sequels, this one is actually a whole other world, which I will not spoil what it is, because it is cool. That is, like, probably the best part of the film. And he has a connection with a kid, if you will. Not a kid, but he's like 22 years old, and it's just him, and it's like a road movie between, like, right here, him, and they're slowly connecting gruff, old Nicolas Cage with young whippersnapper, you know what I mean? It's been done. And it is artful. There is great moments, but man, is it slow, man. There's like slow scenes where you're just sitting there for a minute staring at one shot that is not that impressive. And for everything good that it has, it's overcompensating by the boredom I felt. Being bored is not that big a problem. The problem is I will never want to watch this again. I do not want to watch this again. I got it. I seen it. And it's not like I told you, it is not John Wick. It is extremely dramatic. It is John Wick if he wasn't an actual assassin and could kill people. You know what I mean? It is literally anti-violence in a way. I'll never watch it again. You know what I mean? And that is, it's not a flaw, but it is certainly something. And I actually got to give it a 6. But here's the thing, I might be wrong on this one. Because not only do people love it to an extreme degree, again, 97, 85, the fact that both of them are that high, but even worse, I mean, you know, depending, 8.2 is insanely high. Insanely high. This goes above being just a good Nicolas Cage film. So again, I think there's bias in terms of finally a good one, especially now because it's been like 6 years since Joe. And his performance is not that good, by the way. He's like, again, he's very gruff, he's very serious, he barely speaks. So it's not the Nicolas Cage we're used to. And yes, it's a good performance, but it's nothing special. So yeah, point is, I might be wrong on this one, okay? I'm giving it a hard 6, which is low on my scale. You know what I mean? I wanted to give Space Jam a 10, you know what I mean? And again, I stand by that. And by the way, I have proof of it within 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, I have proof that Space Jam is that good. But again, people love it. People love it. You might love it too. Just know what you're getting into. And, you know, be ready to, you know, have a drink or something. You know, decompress. This is not, don't go in expecting an action film. That's Pig. That's Nicolas Cage. I'm happy for him. At the same time, I'm like, come on. Yeah. Let's do Wizard of Oz, and I have something weird for you. I got, first of all, this poster. Okay, this poster freaked me out. I was like, what is wrong with this poster? And I figured it out, and we're going to do it in real time. What up, chat? The Wizard of Oz, of course, a classic musical. I am seeing a festival of musicals where almost at least once a week I'm going to see a musical in theater. Oftentimes a classic. My cat is playing with a bag, so you might hear some bag noises right next to me. Okay, so what is wrong with this poster? Let's do it slowly. So, does it work as a musical? Not really. There's only one bop, which was surprising. I might do it as a main event one day, but I cannot get, you know, screwed on this one because, you know, these songs are popular and copyright is strong. But classic story, and to be honest, I'm surprised by how much I did not know going in, considering how much it's been lampooned and, you know, parodied and etc. etc. And I gotta say, it's pretty beautiful. And there's one word that I have not thought of, said out loud, or even knew I knew the meaning of until I watched this film. In the middle of the film, I'm like, I know what this is. I know exactly what this is. This movie is saccharin. And I was like, saccharin. I was sitting there in the theater watching this film, and I'm like, saccharin? How the hell did I come up with this? You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy where the brain takes you sometimes. Saccharin is excessively sweet or sentimental. This is pure innocence as a film. It's crazy. And when you see these classics, by the way, the one thing they all have in common, from Shawshank Redemption to Wizard of Oz, is that there's passion that is undeniable on screen. Like, you cannot take your eyes away because of the set design, the acting, the costumes, and just the sheer, like, money thrown and, like, you know, the gimmick of going from black and white to color. Constantly, I'm amazed by, like, how this film holds up from a visual sense. The movie has a dog in it. It's one of the best dogs, like, performances of all time. But they do some crazy stuff that you could do back in the day that you can't do now. They don't put the dog explicitly in danger, but there are constant scenes. First of all, when they're dancing and singing and dancing about, the dog is there, and they could squish him at any instant. It's a tiny dog, and you can see the dog being scared multiple times, but he's a player, so he's good. He lives. And Dorothy, the little girl in the film, incredible child performance. Like, the innocence on her face and her acting brought it out of me. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, nah, this movie won't get me. You know what I mean? And then out of nowhere, you got like two like incredible scenes with her, and she needs to bring it, and she brings it so freaking hard. I was blown away by it, and it got me. You know what I mean? So again, constantly surprised, constantly impressed. Again, the songs are nothing incredible. You know, that doesn't hold up. And because it's saccharin, it's like lacking that edge that we're missing today. But also because it's saccharin and it's so old, there are moments that like feel weird, that like looking at it now from a 2021 lens are just like straight up funny. They literally say the word like sis, you know? I did a pause there specifically because trust me, they would have got me on that. Out of nowhere and without context. Of course, it's not R. You know what I mean? But it's weird. There's like constant moments like that where it's either freaky or, example, the villain has a monkey, a pet monkey that has wings and flies and has like a suit. I have no idea if that's a real monkey or a extremely tiny person in a monkey suit. It freaks me out, man. I think about it and I'm like, oh. And the reason why this poster freaked me out is Dorothy looks like a psychopath. Okay, look at her. Look at those eyes. She's like staring into your soul. laughing while you burn in hell. This freaks me out, man. This is like more horrifying than any horror film I've seen in recent memory. You gaze into those eyes, you shan't return. So yeah, Wizard of Oz, fantastic film. Does hold up, is worth seeing, but you know what I mean, don't go out of your way. You know what I mean, it is what it is, and just because of that, because it doesn't like, you know, it's a musical, so the music should be crazy, but it's not that. It's about everything else. So it's a hard 8, which by the way is the score it has right now. Completely fair, completely matches. And by the way, Wizard of Oz is in Space Jam 2 for like 2 seconds. It's literally a planet. Every IP is a planet. So you got like the Matrix planet, and then out of nowhere you got the Wizard of Oz planet, and that's it. They have no other cameo. But it's kind of cool that I saw Space Jam 2 days ago that references it, and now I see the actual OG thing in a theater. There's a joy to that. So yeah, Saccharin, baby, out of nowhere. And there was something else. Oh yeah, finally, this Werner Herzog. I will talk about more about Werner Herzog, but he's a legend. In my opinion, he's one of the people I respect the most. For 2 things right now, there's more but anyway, top of my head, he got shot on camera. He literally got shot in the belly while doing an interview on a roof. I will show it to you at a certain point. And he no-sold it. He got shot, continued the interview like it was nothing. And of course, it was not like a real gun, like it wasn't a revolver. I think it was like a bird gun, like a pigeon gun or something. And he just got shot by somebody from like roofs away. So by the time it got to him, the bullet was not like full speed. So it was just like a, you know, flesh wound. Like it might have still been in there, but not deep enough to actually hurt or cause damage enough to stop the interview. But still, that's like one of the most badass moments ever. Like I've seen people get punched once and like fumble. You know what I mean? This dude got shot. And surprisingly, he saved Baby Yoda from being trash. You know how crazy that is? He is an actor on The Mandalorian, of course. He plays the villain of the first season. And a few episodes in, while they were filming, they were secretly talking right on set. They were talking about the puppet, the Yoda puppet, and how it was not good enough. I think I tweeted this. Actually, I can find it because I don't tweet much, so I can find it within 2 seconds. Shit, no, it's true. I cut it up just to avoid. Anyway, so he literally heard people talking about, okay, look, we're not sure about this puppet. We're probably gonna make him CG, and he like screamed. He's like, "You cowards! Leave it!" Because he fell in love with Baby Yoda in the same way we have, because it's real, because you can touch him, because he can grab things, because he is there. You cannot. That's why practical will always win over CG, even though it's more expensive, and even though sometimes it looks faker. It's because it's there, man. You can feel it. You can touch it. Stop motion animation is a perfect example of that, where you know it has that power over 3D animation. Regardless, Werner Herzog, legend. Here's the thing, in my head, I'm like, every movie he does is a masterpiece. You know what I mean? Like, he's already a legend in my mind. I'm sure all of his films are incredible. There's a reason his name is well known. Plus, I've seen others. He's done documentaries in the last few years. And I saw Grizzly Man, and I saw a few others, but they're mostly about, like, you know, nature or crazy subjects, like the death row and the death penalty, and, like, Encounters at the End of the World, which is about, like, you know, the polar ice caps and stuff. Anyway. But because of this festival, and because of this film, and because of my research, I'm thinking he's actually a bad director. Which is crazy to say, but I think there's a reason he became a documentary filmmaker, is because he's better at that than he is making fiction. And this is a perfect example. This is one of his most well-reviewed films. And I'll show you right here. Every Man for Himself and God Against All, or again, The Enigma of Kaspar Hauser. 95%. 8.3, it's even higher than Pig. That's not saying much, but trust me, I know these scores. 8.3 is very rare. And I was reading the reviews here, because again, I'm not even sure if I'm going to go see these, so I need to be sold. And one of the, whatever. Yeah, one of Herzog's 2 or 3 finest films. So I'm like, dude, that's enough. Look, right here, an unmissable film. You know what I mean? You say that, I'm gone. I'm off. Same thing with Pig. You know what I mean? I would not have seen Pig or others if they said the opposite. So I go see it. I'm pumped. It's a story about a broken man who's been living in a tower. Imagine the space around me, and like in front of me and behind me. That's it. That's my whole life. I live here. Like, that's it. And all I have is like bread, and I think that's it. He literally had nothing. He was in a tower, could not see the outside world, does not know what other humans look like except for the one that held them captive, does not know nothing doesn't know what water looks like. I mean, other than like, you know, like a river. Basic human stuff. He doesn't know how to speak, doesn't know how to walk. He's literally sitting in this tight space his whole entire life. Now, that's an incredible concept. And literally the movie begins with his captor literally freeing him and letting him go and like putting him into the city, being like, you deal with this problem. You deal with this human being that is literally not a human being because he hasn't been in contact with anything that is resembling the Earth experience, never mind the humankind experience. So yes, it's cool. You see him go from like villager to villager, learn lessons here, being made fun of here. There's like a little bit of comedy or whatever. But man, you talk about Pig being boring. This is one of the most boring films I've ever seen. For every good scene, there is literally 10 scenes that are just like, oh my god, why am I watching this? It is so boring. And you would think with the concept that I just told you, it would be awesome. There's only 2 good moments, and I will show them to you, so I spare you the 2 hours of watching this, which is, again, very bad, in my opinion. So yeah, the guy, look, he's like slashing as close to his head as possible. Again, the guy on the left is the man who was stayed in the tower forever. So again, he has no fear. He has no nothing. He's very broken. Swordsman's like, okay, look, and you have no idea that this whole time there is 25 people like watching right next to him, right? You had no idea. So this is like one of those slight funny bits. They're just like, wait. Anyway, so the whole point was to show that, like, look, I can swing my sword as close as possible, and he will not flinch. And the best scene is coming right up, right here. He's like, okay, try with fire, right? Wouldn't it be cool? See if he flinches with fire. Just like messing with him, right? Putting it close to his eye. And then he gets curious about it. He's like, oh, this is exciting. And then this happens, okay? He wants to play with the fire. Now this, you've seen it before, but you gotta lick your fingers and psh, or else, of course, this happens. Wait for it. Man, I gotta rewind that small bit. 2nd degree burns, son. But because, you know, he doesn't know how to scream, he doesn't know how to emote, he doesn't know how to do anything. So they're all watching him literally burn himself in real time and have no reaction to it. Doesn't scream, doesn't flinch. He does flinch. Natural body reaction. Again, look at his shaking right here. The pain. The pain is so brutal. You cannot, you know, tears come. Anyway, this is comedy here. So yeah, that's the only good scene. And see another example how boring this is. The free chicken. And like, he's afraid of chicken. He's never seen chicken. It's terrifying to him. Ha ha, isn't it fun? Let's make fun of the broken human being. Again, the hate is strong. See, this is why I don't watch bad films. I do not like to be this, right? And it's funny because every movie critic has to be this every week. I literally do the opposite. I see the bad movies that they are forced to see, and I like feel bad for them because they waste 2 hours, and all they have left from that 2 hours is anger, is disappointment, is why the hell did I just watch that? Why did I waste 2 hours? It is oof. And I get it, right? But all it takes is 2 seconds of research. And anyway, so he discovers a baby. Okay, and it's a beautiful scene where he's like, what is this? And the woman, which is a surprising turn of events, trusts him to hold the baby, which is crazy. Because he could do anything. He could eat it, for all she knows. And he cries. And this is the best line in the entire film. I almost cried, okay? Trust me, if I cried, I would have upped the score. But this is like the best moment of the entire film. Again, he discovers what even a baby is, and the baby is screaming as hell. Like if it was me, if it was any human being, we would have left that room because it's just brutal. You know what I mean? We don't want to hear that. It's not my baby. Okay, here we go. He holds the baby. This is it. The best moment. The only good moment. Mother, like talking to her like, you're a mother? I am so far away from everything. Again, it's translated, right? It's like from the original language, and that might not be exactly what he said. But whoever wrote that is a genius line, and I love it. Because again, he's broken. This is one of those rare moments of self-awareness. So, what do I score an actual bad film that I hated? Where I'm like, man, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? After watching Space Jam a few hours earlier, after watching Pig, I was disappointed with Pig, but it's nothing compared to this. It was right after. I finished my day of 4 movies with this. And heavy dislike, maybe. It's a 5 out of 10. Like I showed you the 2 scenes that are cool. The concept is cool. There's also some weird comedy, and there's some stuff that is worth its value in its existence. But man, this sets me up as like I'm worried for the next few movies that I'm going to see of him that are playing in theaters every week. Well, I'll keep you updated. But again, he's still a legend. Just might not be for the thing he's done his whole life, which is directing. We'll find out together. Okay, now I gotta show you my schedule and how insane it is. Lightning speed, okay? This is all next week. This is Sunday. Today we are Sunday. I just come back from Wizard of Oz. This is what's coming up next week, okay? Monday I have off, so I'm lucky. Tuesday, Blues Brothers. That's pretty much it, actually. Blues Brothers, again, classic musical, fun comedy, should be awesome. Hairspray on Wednesday. This one is almost all white. This freaks me out. This might be bad, but I gotta see it because apparently it's good enough, and I need to see it because it's a musical festival. Thursday, I got Mary Poppins, which is, by the way, I was super excited for Wizard of Oz, as excited for Mary Poppins. It's the one I'm most excited for. Look at this on the poster, Walt Disney's greatest achievement. That is an insane statement. And the fact that they put this in a poster, which is this old, makes me think that hyperbole and marketing bullshit existed then, which is pretty cool to think about. You would think it would be something more recent, where they'd be like, this is the best horror movie ever, you know what I mean? But no, did it back in the day. Same day, same Thursday, literally right after Mary Poppins, I'm seeing Bo Burnham in theaters, baby. Here's my ticket. And as always, I'm going to try to meet people there, right? And when you think about it, Bo Burnham Inside might be literally the riskiest film to meet somebody afterwards. Because it's going to be young teenage girls, dude. I'm literally going to go try to speak to the oldest one on principle. I'm literally going to look for gray hair and be like, that one is safe. Oh man, I'm going to be looking out for gray, dude. Looking out for gray. Which, by the way, if there is gray, that would shock me because it's such a movie for young folks. And yeah, so one day only in theaters, and this will confirm again if Bo Burnham's Inside is a 10 out of 10. I've been talking about 10 out of 10s recently, and I always forget to mention this, and it should be mentioned. And this will confirm it, so I cannot wait. So that's Thursday. Back to back, baby. Mary Poppins Inside, that's the life. Okay, Agira, Wrath of God, which is the next Werner Herzog film, supposed to be one of his best. So again, I'll keep you posted. That's next Friday. Friday is New Releases Day, which means old. I never have exceptions when it comes to scores and consensus. I need a good score. I need a consensus good film worth your time for me to even think about seeing it. The only exceptions were Space Jam 2, because that was badly received, but I had to see it regardless, and Old, okay? Old might have bad reviews. It might be the worst M. Night Shyamalan film in years, because his last few were actually pretty good. I did not like Glass, but I love Split. Point is, even if it has bad reviews, I'm seeing this. So you better believe I will cover it. That's Friday. Friday, Snake Eyes is coming out. Snake Eyes, this is one ultimate maybe. This is dependent on the reviews. If the reviews are bad, I'm not seeing it. It's that simple, and I would be surprised if they are. So, hell yeah, I'm hoping that they are. And then next Saturday, Pink Floyd, The Wall. That's just the films, okay? This is where it gets crazy. And of course I work, which is, obviously. So it gets crazy and crazier. But that is not the actual schedule. Here's where it gets crazy. Troll Hunters, Rise of the Titans is coming out on July 21st, which is in 4 days, okay? It's in 4 days. I gotta catch up on Wizards. Okay, here's the thing. This is a culmination of Guillermo del Toro's animated series. Guillermo del Toro, winner of the Best Director for The Shape of Water, of course. Which is, I think I scored it a 10. Regardless, it's a masterpiece, right? He did the show on Netflix and created this whole universe. Troll Hunters was the first one, 56 episodes. Crazy. It's hard to say if it is worth jumping into now, which is why I'm covering this whole thing. I give it a 10, but that's 3 seasons, 54 episodes. You know what I mean? So you do not need that much perfect episodes to earn that 10. And then he followed it up with 3 Below, which is insane because Troll Hunters is fantasy. It's swords, it's magic. 3 Below is sci-fi, aliens, laser weapons, etc., etc. And it's in the same universe, not only that, but in the same town with the same characters. 3 Below had 2 seasons, gave it a 9 out of 10, and that is 27 episodes. And now, finally, you have Wizards, which came out 2 years ago, I believe, only 10 episodes, 3rd series, all about magic, and still, again, features the same characters. This is like a culmination in a small way. This is like Avengers 1 compared to Endgame, which is this, okay? Thing is, Wizards, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, which means I got 8 to watch within 4 days. So this will take priority. And it has to, because I hate missing out and being late. You know what I mean? I always catch the drift, always catch the wind. And by the way, perfect example is I'm late on Loki. Fortunately, I missed the freaking hurricane, and I'm late on Fear Street. Pisses me off, but that's life gets in the way. You know, stuff happens. Fear Street is a trilogy of horror films on Netflix. One came out every week, all from the same director. All apparently great horror films. I'm pretty much almost done with the first one. I will do all 3, but again, I'm late. So Loki and Fear Street take slight back burner to Wizards and Trollhunters Rise of the Titans, because this is, again, I like to be there on the ground floor, and this is the perfect type of thing I love to cover, because it's, especially this, because it's a culmination of literally like over 5 years of great storytelling within multiple genres, all coming together. This is Avengers Endgame of Netflix animation from Guillermo del Toro. So it's a big deal. So I got to catch up on that. Loki, of course, I'm still doing it. I'm at episode 3. Fear Street, I will do it as well. But that's how it goes. And I think that's it. My Hero, same thing. My Hero ends August 7th. We got 2.5 weeks to catch up, and it's 19 episodes. I got to finish the game, and that's pretty much it. So, you know what I mean? That's another thing on the pile, on the schedule. And even worst of all, not worst of all, this is best of all, Beastars added to the anime Battle Royale, which I wanted to start, but again, too much stuff right now. So anime will wait. That's perfectly fine, because, you know, it's just there, waiting. Beastars Season 2, just released. Amazing reviews. Amazing reviews. There's only like 3, though, so it's not, we'll see, you know. It only takes one asshole to be like, you know what, this actually sucks, to bring it back down. But as of now, it's added on the list. So that means we have 5 players, I believe, vying to just be watched to completion. Finally, I wanted to put over Space Jam, okay? Space Jam, I put it over last time. Said I almost give it a 10, give it a 9. It's fantastic, man. It's incredible. I wrote this tweet. I actually care. I took time to write this, you know what I mean? Because you never know who's reading. Space Jam: New Legacy is a celebration of beloved franchises, which is the HBO, not the HBO, the Warner Brothers thing. I won't spoil it. Anyway, not spoiling. The Looney Tunes, of course. Don Cheadle, because I told you he played the villain perfectly, all on the green screen, all having to explain everything and be funny. It's a whole thing. It's one of the best roles of the year. This is the most important. Developers of timeless arcade basketball games like NBA Jam. It's ingrained in the story that this is about his kid, who is a tech wizard, who is literally making a NBA Jam ripoff. They don't call NBA Jam, but Space Jam. It's in the title. Whoever wrote this film literally went out of his way to include one of the best video games out there. You play Smash Brothers, you play Mario Party, you play NBA Jam. You are guaranteed a good time. These are some of the best games of all time. And that's like NBA Playgrounds, NBA Street. You know what I mean? These things have, like, I could play it right now and it would be excellent. So I'm very happy that this movie features it. And no one's talking about this, by the way. No one. Even though it's a huge focus of the story. Literally, the final basketball game hinges on the fact that it's a NBA Jam game. Generational fatherhood lessons. This is where the plot comes in. This is How to Train Your Dragon. And finally, and this is the most important, and is a sublime achievement in animation. And that the great care getting these 4 pictures. They're slightly spoilerish, but I wanted to showcase the, because this is a love letter to 2D animation with multiple styles and multiple ways to explore the medium. This is one of the few ones. I won't spoil what this one is, but it's just a nice image regardless. This scene is a comic book style. As you can see, the background has the dots that a comic book type cartoon would have, or a comic book period. Of course, you got the loud sound effects, but even better, you got the split screen, 2 cameras. Again, like 2D animation. It's just a beautiful shot, and I love Lola Bunny in this. This is the craziest one. Okay, this is a literal transition of a 2D character into 3D in real time. As a non-animator who truly believes that this is magic and do not want to know how the magic is done, it's like how and how much work and how hard this must have been. You know what I mean? Like, it's just an image, but it's in real time for like 30 seconds, and it's not just him. Crazy stuff. Look at 3D to 2D. It's beautiful. Finally, this, just because it's feel good. I want to end on something. It's all of them smiling. The Looney Tunes. It's freaking LeBron in cartoon, which he is for like half an hour of the film. They did not have to do that. Space Jam 1 did not do that. So again, I stand by everything I said. In my mind, it is something beautiful that I'm extremely happy I've seen, that I can put on any time and have a good time. That's all it had to do. All I had to do was be a good time, and it is, in spite of everything. So yeah, Space Jam, please check it out, man. It's good stuff. So yeah, main event. Here we go. Passion bleeds, baby. Passion bleeds. As does the schedule. Man, that's crazy. It's like a movie a day. All of them like weird musicals. It's a whole thing, dude. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is a good life. That's what happens when you max level in whatever you do. If you max level in soccer, you're out there like flipping balls, taking bets. You know what I mean? You max level at chess. You're in NYC Park hustling fools for money. If you're max level in theater, in cinema, not theater, yeah, in cinema, you see all the weirdest shit. Everything from classics to originals to deep cuts. Always in the best seat, always in the best time, never missing one. And you get to live out literally the best way possible to experience all of this art. And art, it will always be. So we go.
Peggy 12.
These are 2 video games here, so I'm not sure. Again, I know nothing. Dang, it's cool because we know nothing of what the game is. Horror, adventure, we don't know. Platformer. Regardless, this is like pretty beautiful, that's for sure. The art style and animation and all that. She fast. Check this out. So I'm guessing it's a dungeon tower game roguelike. That's my guess. Yo. What's his name? Mario Odyssey. Cappy ain't got nothing. This crown, dude. Yo, he's got magic. Should just burn that fool. God, I should put this last. This is too good. What's a dream? Really? By the way, that's the one thing holding the Wizard of Oz back. The climax sucks. Sucks bad. I mean, it literally helps the movie back. Would have been a 9 if you had a good climax. Damn. This is a piece of art though. Look at this. I had to pause it for literally not miss. Like, there's like almost over 20 characters on this page alone. Insane. Look at that. There's like a motorcycle tank up in here. Oh no, never mind. Man, this is awesome. Okay, cool. So good luck following this, but you have to. The Cruel King and the Great Hero. Good luck. By the way, that was sick. I have still no idea what the game is, but I shall remember the crown. Of the dragon once known as the Cruel King. Hell yeah. And a human girl with a dream. The Cruel King being a dragon. Becoming a hero. Basic. Great song, but yeah. Don't worry, this is gonna get me. Dude, that doesn't look like the Cruel King at all. He looks like a sweet black cat. People think it's scary and brings misfortune, but it's just as loving as anything else. Gotta talk over this. That's all I'm doing. You're gonna get me. It's good though. Respect where respect is due. Ooh. I like the design of the creatures. Storybook style, of course. You know what? I mean, it's completely different, but it does deliver. Wait. You play as the dragon? Dude, I mean, I love how they're teasing it. I'm sure if we rewound it and looked at the images, we would parse it out. Like, we know what happened. I don't want to know. I'll play the game. But dude, the little girl dies? What happens? See, I want to know. I'm in. That's how you win. It's the story of how one day the little girl died. You would defeat me. Ooh. Dude, That's a trailer, son. I said you could not follow the other one, and here we are. Followed to perfection. From NIS, by the way, NIS is known for strategy games. So I'm guessing it's an RPG, but man, could be anything. So yeah, like you've seen, the schedule is insane. So you can expect Loki, Fear Street, and most importantly, Wizards and Troll Hunters, Rise of the Titans really, really soon. Wizards especially because Rise of the Titans is in 4 days. And I'll see it then. Epic movie on Netflix, so get pumped. Of course, you don't need to watch the shows. Hell, I will tell you if you have to. And if not, there's like beautiful recap videos because I believe Rise of the Titans, in a way, is Guillermo del Toro's animated feature. You know what I mean? Zack Snyder of Justice League, of Man of Steel, directed, of Watchmen, directed Legends of Ga'Hoole, Legend of the Guardians, Owls of Ga'Hoole. You know what I mean? And I wonder if that one's good. Point is, big time directors that are known for their style or known for their name very rarely, seldom do animated films. Wes Anderson is one of the best examples. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Man, that's good. I have that in my head because I'll show you a beautiful main event of that. But these are to be celebrated. And yes, it's not directed by Guillermo del Toro. He's not an animation director. But he is as much ingrained into this story from the beginning as anybody else. He would not put his name on it if he wasn't proud or if you did not think it deserved to be on there in the first place. So much respect there. So that's why I'm taking these next few days to and it's nothing, it's 8 episodes, but still, I'm in. So until next time, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Pig.